About 6 minutes ago, I realized that this speech was due sooner than I thought it was. As a result, I've been frantically writing. Now, I could blame something else on my conundrum, but it's a little harder to try to convince your teacher that your dog ate your Word document. But in reality, this is my own fault. Like many students around the world, I had ample time to finish my work, but instead, I waited until the last possible moment to begin. I'm sure many of you have found yourself in the same scenario, where despite knowing you have something that needs to be done, you just can't find the energy to do it until it's almost too late. Today, we'll take a deeper dive into what procrastination really is. Then, we'll talk about why we as people find procrastination so appealing. And lastly, we'll answer the age-old question: is procrastination really that bad? So first, let's get a better definition of what procrastinating really is. According to dictionary.com, the true definition of procrastination is to defer action or to delay. However, our definition can be a little more specific, as procrastination is typically seen with a negative connotation. So by procrastinating, we often create stressful situations for ourselves. A gracious time limit turns into a race against the clock. A well-thought-out outline turns into a speedy delivery. So if procrastination is so bad, why do we continue to do it? The first reason could be a fear of failure. If the task is especially difficult, we may want to avoid doing it to avoid the discomfort of failing. An article in the Washington Post suggests that there is cognitive bias that influences many of us, telling us that doing tasks will somehow be easier in the future. This is obviously not true, and logically, we know that. But instinctively, we push this difficulty and the possibility of failure that accompanies it away. The more likely reason, however, for our procrastination is simply a lack of self-control. The most common reason cited for our procrastination is simply, I don't really feel like doing that right now. Whether you want to call it laziness or a lack of effort, we are our own roadblocks to success. But the main question at hand is this: does procrastination actually hurt your chances at getting things done? While procrastinating means tighter deadlines, it often still implies a completed task by the time of the deadline. For example, if your purely hypothetical speech is due by 11:59 on Tuesday night, and you complete it by 11:58 on Tuesday night, there's no harm done on the teacher's side. They'll still begin grading the assignment at the same time they were going to. Furthermore, people often cite working under pressure as a good motivator. By raising the stakes on the task at hand, people might find themselves working faster and more efficiently. However, according to a study done by NPR, students who put off a task that's due at the end of the week till the very last day often find themselves saying, I don't know why I was avoiding this. This isn't as bad as I thought it would be. Furthermore, increased stress levels have been shown to have direct correlations to health risks, including mental disorders such as anxiety and depression. So, despite what we may want to believe, putting off that assignment until the very last minute doesn't have enough benefits to make it a dependable strategy. Today, we've talked about what procrastination is, why we face it, and we've clarified that it is not, in fact, the perfect way to do all your homework. As you find yourself wanting to put off that task a little bit longer, remember this: it's probably easier than you think it is. As for me, I'm going to submit this speech and take a deep breath.